Hey everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I'm getting ready to do my homework. Last thing we did, and what we're doing is we're working on Hello Sunshine, Kimberbell's Hello Sunshine. And the last video we did was the bicycle. Is this the bicycle I just stitched out? Hang on. So we just stitched out this bicycle, and we also sliced out this watermelon slice. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other watermelon slice right now. I am already hooped up in my 7x12 magnetic hoop. Feeling like I should get this out a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this onto the machine. You also need your fabric. And then the instructions we're using. Can you believe, like, these are the instructions now? Like, they're so basic. The instructions at this point are like the most basic instructions you'll ever see. It just tells you, let me see if I could zoom in right here for you. So, watermelon placement line, place fabric, watermelon tack down line, trim fabric. So, I mean, we have such detailed instructions at this point. I feel like it's so nice with instructions and pictures. This is from back in the day, 2017. So, a lot has changed in the past 8 years. So let's go on over to the machine, and I'm going to go ahead and slide on my hoop. Alrighty. Fluff that fabric. That bumblebee is from a different embroidery, but I like to sleeve an embroidery on and then go ahead and do the next embroidery. Here is the fabric we're going to be using. And let's go ahead and pick our design. So I think I already loaded mine. I actually saved it from last time. So you're going to see I have it saved right here. I already saved it with the background quilting as well as the design. And you could watch the previous video if you want to. I did mirror image it. So I went ahead and if you look at this one, the bite is on the top, and if you look at this one, the bite is on the bottom. So I mirrored imaged it because, why? Because I can. It's kind of fun. So let's just get into the embroidery. So first thing it wants to do is the placement line, and you're not going to see this, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in the black. And while it's doing the placement line, let's prep our fabric. So, this is my handy dandy spray tent. Is it just so amazing? And I like to put a piece of cardboard in here. I know it looks so fancy. And this is the spray that I like to use. So I use an old KK100. And I'm going to go ahead and spray the lumpy, bumpy side of my batting first. That's the side that goes down. And then the side of my fabric that has the shape flex on it. You don't have to go crazy. I'm lightly spraying. And then we're going to lay it down on what we just embroidered. So you want to take your, let me see if I can get you back over here a little bit better. And bring this forward, and let's put our batting piece, and you want to center it right inside of the placement square. And then we're going to take our piece of fabric and center it to that. Be mindful that I don't have shape flex all the way down to the very bottom right here. Those probably went over the edge when we were prepping, and that's okay. And you want to just have about 1 inch all the way around. So just feel underneath, and I can feel that. And then once you have it in place, you're going to go ahead and just flatten it. Fluff that embroidery. Ooh, mine was totally turned under. Be careful. There we go. Hang on a second. I am just going to leave, actually, it's going to be the tack down. So I'm going to put a new color in, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to do it with a color that you can't see. You want to choose a color you can see. Go ahead Okay, we are going to skip some steps. So what we're going to do is, let's go back over to our screen. We're going to go to this button right here where you go minus and plus stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. And this step right here is the place, or the tack down. Orange is tack down for the batting. I'm going to skip that. That's going to be placement for the background. We already placed ours, so we don't need that. This is going to be tack down for the background. We do need that stitch. The other thing I didn't do, because I already did this in the last embroidery, is I want you to go to your settings. And I want you to choose the right hoop size. And I did the 7 by 12. Mine was kind of all set. Everything was all set. My placement was all set. It was all ready to go. If you need more direction on what I did here, just do the previous video that has the watermelon slice in it. And we're right where we need to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's say, okay, we're going to say stitch. Oh, am I? Yeah, I'm down. See if a little bit higher would be better. Is that better? How's that? Is that a little bit better of an angle? Not sure. I'll try that. Worried about the hoop hitting, that's all. Okay, next step is the quilting. And if you look at your screen, it shows it in green. And quilting doesn't mean it wants you to do it in green. It just means that that's the quilting stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and put my black back in for the quilting. And again, I already combined mine. So these are two designs. I already put them together. Hang on. Whoop. You got to actually hit the thread button too. And it's going to go ahead and do the quilting stitch. That is 4 minutes of stitching. The design that I chose was, this is swirls, and it comes from clear blue tiles. And you're going to see lots of lovely dog hair on my fabric. So it's doing that swirly quilting. After it does that, we're going to get into the embroidery, and what I'm learning is it doesn't always focus in on what I'm showing you. So we are going to be doing the watermelon placement line. we're going to do this next, the watermelon placement line. And if you look at the instructions, we are going to go ahead and do the watermelon placement line in red, and then we'll place our fabric, and then we'll do the tack down and the satin out. So we're going to go ahead and do all of that. So if you want to go ahead and get your spray tent back, now what we can do is let's grab our fabric, which is going to be this piece right here, and let's just go ahead and lay it down. We'll give it a little shot of spray. Make sure you're going from the back side, because this is what we're going to do. Don't get too crazy with the spray. And then we'll get back to our instructions. So get your apple ready, or whatever red you want to use. If you feel like you can see your bobbin thread, just put a matching black bobbin in. I'm lazy, so I leave in the white. So this is a placement line, so on your screen it's going to show as blue, but I'm going to be using this color right here. Let me see if I can get a little closer. There we go. How about we do that? I'm going to take out my black thread and put in the red. Okay, placement line. My fabric is sprayed and ready to go. You're going to go ahead and lay this down next. Make sure you have your good snips too. I'm looking for mine. I can't remember if I was, did I take this to the store with me? I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Peek underneath, make sure you're covering the whole thing. And then you can just go ahead and smooth it. Slide that back on. Let's go ahead and do the tack down. I brought my snips to this store, so I was just grabbing those. Had to run over. Let me go ahead and pull this forward, and then we're just going to go ahead and trim. So these are my favorite right now. So these are my Kimberbell snips, and they're just the best. These were my favorite. These are my Havels, and I still love my Havels. And I grabbed those in a pinch, just in case I couldn't find these. But really, these are like my favorite. And I love them because I can just pinch. They feel a little bit stronger, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just new. And I just needed a new pair of snips, but my brain tells me that they're better. Okay, that is done. I'm going to go ahead and slide this back on. And then it wants you to do, after you do the tack down and trim, we're going to do the watermelon satin outline. So go ahead and do that. Just hit start. We're almost done with this one. It's only a 6-minute stitch out. This is going to be 5 minutes, and then we will go ahead and we will put our, we'll put in our black thread, and we'll do the watermelon seeds. Oh, I was scared because the bumblebee. Wanted to make sure he didn't get turned under. And I'm going to go ahead and get the watermelon slice out. Let's see what size hoop we're doing that one in. now wants to do the watermelon seeds, go ahead and put in your black thread. Watermelon seeds are usually like black, aren't they? Thread her up. And while it's doing that, I'm going to get ready to hoop up for the next one. We're almost done with that one. We're going to be doing watermelon slices. Where did I put my little, oh, here they are. They're so cute. I mean, isn't that fabric so cute? It's so adorable. Okay, so we're going to do watermelon slices next. I'm going to be doing it in my 5x7. With the background quilting, it bumps you out of your 4x4 hoop. So we're just going to run them down in the 5x7 hoop. And there's our watermelon half. So we are done with this one. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. Let's come on back over here. And let me go ahead and pull off my magnets. And then the other thing I have to do is I need my computer because I need to do my digital download transfer. Although I'm sure I have a USB here that has all the designs on it. So we'll go ahead and put this to the side. There's my second watermelon slice until we're ready to do something on that larger fabric. I cut my muslin down to 9.5 inches. I could have done 9 inches too, just to run it up and down. So let me put that top magnet on. I'm going to put this bottom one on. And then there are littles on the side. I think it's 2 littles on each side. There we go. A little extra fabric's nice because you can always use that to hold your fabric taut. And that is ready. I am going to go ahead and roll this up so it's not just draping down. And I like to use some wonder clips to just hold it into place. Here we go. Do, do. Da, 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 da. Okay, things are getting expensive. Are you noticing it? So this is going to be a way, I mean, if you don't care and you feel like this is annoying, then just cut your pieces as you go. But if you want to conserve and use as much as you can, this is a great way to do. Even if you're using a regular roll of stabilizer, sometimes I will take the roll and leave it to the back and throw it behind my table. And I'll just leave it on the roll just like that. So lots of different ways that you can conserve. I'm going to go ahead and slide this onto my machine. And then I'm going to do a design database transfer. My machine is saying my hoop is too big. So I'm going to go ahead and push my home button. So now I can slide this back on. Sometimes you might get that message. And oh my God, it's so close. I'm just trying to not have to walk around my entire table. Let's see if we can do this right here. I don't even know what these notes are. So I'm going to do my design database transfer. You're going to see, hang on one second. Let me close that down. All right, so I have a little icon right here, and I'm going to give you a little bit more zoomed in. So right here is my design database transfer. And I'm going to go here to select my machine, and it says Evie. That is my Avenir. And when I grab my spreadsheet, you can't see this right now, but I'm looking all over. Oh, there it is. I'm looking all over my room for it right now. Here we go. Kites. Kites. This is not the spreadsheet I want. My spreadsheet has everything on it. Hang on just a second. Did I grab it? Where are you? Oh, here it is. Is this it? Yes. Oh my goodness, the amount of time I spend looking for stuff. So, if you look right here, it says watermelon slice 1, wavy red and white, red, white, and bloom 4x4. So I'm going to go ahead and find that first. And why don't I get the other ones too? So I need wavy, I need plaid, and I need loops. I'm going to grab all of those. So I'm going to go into my quilting. Not responding. Close the program. Do you like this? You get to see technology not working on the spot. We'll try it again. Okay, looks like it's working this time. Clear blue tiles. So I'm already in my clear blue tiles folder right here, and I'm already in PES. So I'm going to grab this one first, which is loops 4x4. So here's my loops folder. Block by block, that's what we want. And I want 4x4, which is right here. There's 4x4. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. And I'm going to hit my down arrow. And then that's ready to transfer. Before I do that one, let's get the other ones. So now I want, that's loops 4x4. What else do I have in here? I also need for my mason jars. Why don't I just grab it now? I need swirls. Clear blue tiles 6x8. So let's go up here to, here's swirls. And I need 6x8, 4x6. Where's 6x? There's a 6x8. Sometimes they have multiples. I don't know why it won't let me see more. There we go. So there's only one 6x8. So that's it. And here's my 6x8. Oops. Swirls, 6x8, and arrow down. Persistence beats resistance sometimes. You just keep trying. And then I also need, is there any more clear blue tiles right here? I need loops 6 by 8. Let's go back to loops, block by block, 6 by 8. There's only one, it's right there, so I'm going to go ahead and touch that, make sure I don't see it anywhere else. Put that one down. So now I have 3 clear blue tile designs. Now I need red, white, and bloom. So let me go back to that. Red, white, and bloom. I need wavy and plaid. So I'm going to go ahead and close these up. That was clear blue tile. Where's red, white, and bloom? Here it is. Red, white, and bloom. And first thing I need here is wavy 4 by 4. So I'm going to, here's wavy. Embroidery files. PES. And I'm looking for 4 by 4. Here's 4 by 4. There's actually 2 of them. I'm just going to put them both in because I'm not sure which one I need. So I'm going to grab that one and I'm going to grab that one. I just cherry picked. I'm going to put those down. And then I need plaid 4 by 4. So let's go ahead and close that one up. Where's plaid? Plaid's the next one, right below wavy. Plaid 4 by 4. There's only one. So I'm going to take that and bring that down. Plaid 4 by 4, loops 4 by 4. Oops, that was clear blue tiles. I already got that. And then here I need wavy 6 by 8. Go back up here to wavy. 6 by 8. Obviously, it's not wanting to move with my finger. Hang on. Let me open that up again. I don't know if you saw, but it wasn't showing me what I needed. Wavy 6 by 8. There's 2 of them. I'm just going to take them both. And that was wavy 4 by 6. I also need wavy 4 by 6. And there's 2 of those, so I'm going to grab them both. We'll figure out which one I need. These I already moved down, so I don't want to move them down again because it will double them. Oh my God. Sorry, the dogs are going crazy. What they're doing is they're fighting the vacuum. And I need plaid 8 by 10. Oh, here's plaid 8 by 10. There's my 8 by 10. Okay. I'm going to take all of those. Those are all of my quilting designs. And I'm just going to hit the button right here that says send to machine. And those should be at my machine. Now we want the designs. So let's go back and get my Hello Sunshine designs. Where are my Hello Sunshine designs? Those are going to be, I have what's called my new folder. And those will be in my Kimberbell. Right here. I have a Kimberbell quilting folder and I have a Kimberbell just regular design folder. So here's Hello Sunshine, my embroidery files in PES. And what I'm looking for is my watermelon slices. Those, I think those might just be regular applique blocks. Let's look. Nope. Maybe they're added dimension. Yeah, here they are. And we want the right ones. So we have a 5 by 7 and we have a 4 by 4. Let's see what they're using in the quilt. I think they're using the 4 by 4, right? Yes, we're going to be using the 4 by 4 design. I'll just put them both in there, but I'm pretty sure it's the 4 by 4. They also give you a 6 by 10. We're definitely not doing that. So I'm going to cherry pick both of those, send them down. Oh my God. Sorry. Nothing I can do about it. Patrick's vacuuming and they're losing it. Okay, and then the mason jars. Here are the mason jars. I don't know what size we're using. Oh, you know what? Maybe it tells you in here. So here, yes, it tells you it wants the 4x4. And then over here, it tells you it wants the 5x7s. So we're going to get the 5x7s. I don't know why there's 3 of them, but I'm going to grab all 3 because I haven't looked at my instructions yet. My dogs love fighting the vacuum. Another reason they do not come to the store. And then we need flower block 1, 2, and 3. Let's look and see what those are. Here's flower block. That's the first one. Looks like that. I think these are going to be 1, 2, and 3. And, oh, although it is asking for the 4x4. So let's get the first flower block. 4x4. Bring that down. This would be just like selecting them and putting them on your USB, except instead of dragging them to your USB, you're putting them on this screen and sending them directly to the machine. This one, they want the 5x7. So that's going to be right here. And the last one, they want the 6x10. Oh my God. Daddy's kenneling them up right now. And I think that should be it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this and send it to the machine. Oh, you know what it's going to do? It's going to double send. I wonder if we can get rid of those. Okay, we can get rid of these because we already sent those, right? I hope so. So see how I can cherry pick? I'm holding down my control key and then tapping these. And before I do that, I'm going to look at my machine and just make sure they're there. Let's go ahead and check the machine. Last thing you want to do is have them not be there and then have to redo it all over again. You're going to go to the pocket, and then I'm going to go right here to where it shows the Wi-Fi. We got to clean some of this out, right? Yeah, they're kind of sprinkled in there. But that should be all of the designs, I think. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There should be 11 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're all there. Okay, they're all there. So I'm just going to go ahead with these, and I'm going to hit the trash can. And now with these, I'm going to hit send to the machine. Output is finished. Let's go back here and see if they're here. I'm going to hit return so I can clear it or re-see them. Yep, there's my watermelon slice and my jars and my flowers and everything is there. So we are done. So nice job. Done with this. That's design database transfer. I love it. I seriously love it. Okay, let's see what we need for fabric and what we have to do. All right. Is this helping? Is this not helping at all? Nope, wrong way. There we go. All right. Is that swinging? Okay, so what we're going to be doing right now is we're doing the watermelon slices. Watermelon slices. And they're right here. So we have 3 different watermelon slices. Is that the right direction? I'm going to do them all. I mean, you could do them. The reason I'm not doing them my 9.5 by 9.5 and my 10 by 10 is because there's only 3. So I'd have like a little empty spot. So I'm just going to run them down that 5 by 7 hoop. And the first one it wants you to do, So this is slice 2, this is slice 1, and this is slice 3. Remember, with this, I didn't have all the original fabrics. So this is a fabric kit that we created and curated at the store, and unfortunately we do not have anymore because I have had people call about that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one first. This is going to have your black background and your watermelon slice in red, and refer to your color chart on page 36. So we'll just go to page 36. And as far as thread colors, I'm going to go ahead and use apple again. Apple, 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 black. Let's go to the machine. Apple, 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 black. So I have black in there right now. Oh, and we have to load our design. So let's go ahead. We're going to load our background quilting first. And then we'll switch. And then we'll add the watermelon slice design next. So as far as the directions go, or what I have on the spreadsheet, we're going to use wavy 4x4 first. So let's go in here and let's find wavy. And I might have loaded 2 of them. So we want this one that's going to be right side up. So we're going to do that one. That's horizontal. Go ahead and set it. And then we're going to add. And then the design we're going to add is going to be our watermelon slice that we brought in via design database transfer. It's going to be that one, hopefully. Yep. Go ahead and set that too. Let's choose our hoop size. So you're going to come up here to your settings button. And your settings button might look like a piece of notebook paper. That's what it looks like on all the other machines except for the Avenir and the Radiance. And let's choose our 5x7 hoop, which is right here. And then all of our settings we're going to leave. And I'm going to take that. Don't move it here in your main edit screen. Go ahead and touch embroidery. And you're going to move it here. We're going to go layout. These are your move arrows right there. And then let's scoot the whole thing up. If your hoop is on, it will not go out of your embroidery field. My hoop is on, so it didn't go out. I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to go to this button, which is one of my favorites. That's where you go forward and backward stitches and where you can advance because we are going to skip a couple of steps. All right, now we are ready. So let's go ahead and start stitching. It's going to do your placement line, and while it's doing the placement line, we are going to prep some of our fabric. So I'm going to grab my applique fabric. So we have these 3 pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and spray them all because we're going to use them all pretty quickly. Remember, get the nubby side. And I'm using my KK Ganold. And first thing I'm going to do is grab this one, the batting, and I'm going to go ahead and lay it down right in that square that we just stitched. That's the placement line for your batting. Just get it right in there. Okay? And then you're going to grab your polka dot fabric and go ahead and lay that down next. And just cover your batting. Feel it. Make sure you have about an inch and a half all the way around. And then you can go ahead and place that down. And then let's change out our thread color. I'm going to put this in because that's what we're going to use next. And we are going to skip some steps. I'm going to take out my black. All right, we're going to go ahead, and this is the tack down for the batting. We don't need that because we already placed it and it was cut to size. This is the background placement. We already placed our background. We are going to do that step, and that is the tack down for our background. So let's go ahead and do that. And I have can you see that I have a red light? That means I'm not ready. What did I not do? I haven't slid this back on. So you need to make sure that you do that beforehand. And I'm going to go ahead and say, go. As far as quilting goes, I'm going to go ahead and do the quilting on this in black. The tack down for the background, you always want to do it in a color that you can see because you're going to fussy cut around that. Let's go ahead and we are going to, you could leave like a bright color in there. Like I could leave the red in there. That would be kind of fun, right? But I'm not fun. I'm boring. And I'm always scared that like every time I try to do something really bold and beautiful, I don't like it. I'm like, that was too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And there's your wavy stitch. So what it's stitching out right now. Do you see that? Love that stitch. It's fun. Whoops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to stop. And then we're going to do the applique. If you look at your instructions now we're going to start with the actual instructions. Watermelon placement line, then the tack down and trim, then the satin outline, and then the seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and put my red back in. And we have 3 of these. I don't think these are going to take that long. Placement line. And my fabric's already sprayed and ready to go. Some of these fabrics are the original because they haven't changed. So here's my fabric. I'm just going to place it down. Go ahead and do your tack down. And get your snips. Because we're going to trim. This is 7 minutes total for the stitching on this. But these should be nice and fast. Go ahead and trim these up. I can't decide if I should do, so Star Spangled Beauty is coming out, and my inclination is to just cut as I go on my scan and cut. And I just can't decide if I should do, we should just do a scan and cut day and then cut everything beforehand. We could do that. And then just put everything in each bag as we go. Should we do that? I'm gonna have to think about it. That's the kind of stuff I think about, like, right when I'm going to bed or right when I wake up. I start, wait, is that right? Yes, it is. There's a little splash of watermelon out there. That's what it's doing right now. How fast are these? I wonder how fast the mason jars are. All right, let's go ahead and put in our black, and we're going to do the watermelon seeds. Black thread, watermelon seeds. I am tearing apart my room right now looking for all my embellishments because and we're going to be spending some time on the embellishments. That's going to take us a little while. What was I going to say? Oh, we need the vinyl from the embellishment kit for the mason jars. And I'm going to just see if I can just keep stitching. We'll at least do all the rest of the watermelon slices. I found it. So at our store, we put together a little embellishment kit that looks like this, and it has the vinyl in it. So very pleased to have found that. All right, we are done with that one. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to take you back over to my hooping area, and let's go ahead and we're going to rehoop. Okay? It's pretty cute, isn't it? I love it. Take off your magnets. Scoot this up. I like to put the top magnet on first. That's kind of nice because it's just one. And that's perfect. Just having like a little bit of the fabric from before sticking out, although it wasn't totally straight. Here we go. And bring this down, make it taut, just by resting my hand down here. Taut, not stretched, so it's too tight. And then we have these. And put them here on the side because it was like making a sound. And we're going to slide this back onto the machine. Fluff that fabric in the back. Make sure it doesn't get in the way. And let's go ahead and load our design. So I'm going to come on over here. We're done with that one. Next one, it wants us to do plaid. And I'm just getting this from the spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet is just something we put together at the store. And if you want it, we're going to be working on putting all those spreadsheets up. It's just finding the time. But you should be able to find them on the website. They're just not there yet. You can email me for now. So we're going to go ahead and say, okay. I'm going to go home. Home's going to clear our screen. And for watermelon slice 2, we're doing plaid 4x4. And I just sent over all those designs through my design database transfer. That's something for Brother. You can also use that on Baby Lock. It's a different design database transfer. You have to load it from the Baby Lock site. And it works with any wireless machine. Any wireless, even if it's like the teeny tiny ones, all the way up to the most expensive ones. So plaid. And someday that's going to be the only way that you can transfer. So embrace it now. Here's my plaid. I resist technology, but sometimes I go, okay, Jeannie, it's time to learn. So we're going to do the watermelon slice again. I like, this is the first year I've ever done wireless transfer. I've had the ability to, because I've had all sorts of different software, PE design, and I've just refused to do it. I don't like change. Okay, they're combined. Or I'm sorry, they're not combined in this page, my main edit page, but if I try to move it now, it's going to separate. So I'm going to go ahead and touch embroidery. Slide your hoop on your machine. And if your machine is slid on, you can go layout, and there's my move arrows. Yours might say the word move. Touch that. They're combined on this page. They'll move together. I'm going to say okay. And then we're going to go to this button here, my favorite. That's where you go forward and backward stitches. We're going to do that first stitch out. I have black thread on my machine, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the placement line. While it's doing the placement line, I'm going to grab my spray tent, and I'm going to spray my next grouping of fabric, which is, to me, the cutest grouping, and it's this. So, back side of that, nubby side of your batting and back side of your applique fabric. Grab your KK100. If you do not believe in spraying, I totally get it. I'm like, shoot, am I breathing that? Is that killing me? That's why I think the tent's so important, because it kind of keeps it in there. Okay, we are going to go ahead and lay down right in the square that you just stitched. Lay down your batting first. And then you're going to take your background fabric and center it to that. And then you're just going to feel around and make sure you have about 1 inch all the way around. And if you do, you can go ahead and press it down. And now we're going to go ahead and do our outline stitch, or the tack down stitch. But we've got to go back to our, hang on a second. Let's go back to the screen. And, whoops. I'm going to go ahead and change up my thread. I know mine's grayed out right now. What thread do you want to use? I'm going to use taffy, because taffy is the perfect color for this. I know you can't see that, but let's go ahead. We're going to use the taffy for this. It'll go the best. Or you can choose a color for contrast. When I'm doing when I'm choosing whatchamacallit, where is that cutter? When I'm choosing a quilting stitch, if I have something that's really busy, then I like a stitch that maybe is, like, if this is swirly, then I chose the plaids because it would do more contrast. Does that make sense? So if it's really swirly, then maybe you don't want to choose the swirls. You could choose something different. Oh, darn it. I totally forgot to skip all my stitches. And we don't want this in because we still haven't even done the tack down yet. Silly me. I'll just put the black in. You're not going to see it because this is going to get sewn into your stitch or cut off. I just looked at my screen. I'll always look at your screen, and that way you can double check, right? Okay. We're going to skip the next step, which is going to be tack down for the batting because our batting was cut to size. We're skipping the placement for the background because we already placed it. And we are going to do the tack down for your background. So that one we are going to do. I have black thread in. Go ahead and stitch it out. Make sure everything is laying nice and flat. Then we will put the taffy in, because the taffy is going to be our thread for quilting. Now we'll put this thread color in because that's going to be perfect. Take out your black or whatever color you use, but you should have used a color that was contrasting because you're going to fussy cut to that. You're going to cut around it, and that's going to help you. I used to be like, oh, match it. And then I would do white on white. And my eyes are getting old and I couldn't see. I'd be like, darn it, I can't even see that. Look at your screen. Make sure it's showing the plaid stitch out next, which mine is showing. All right. And this whole stitch out again is 7 minutes. So it'll be quick, and then we'll hoop up for the last watermelon slice. remember, our instructions are on page 36. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Page 36. That's our stitch out. And I'm pretty sure it's apple, 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 black. So we're going to do the placement line. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, the quilting looks so good. I love that stitch. So if you're looking for a good bundle of quilting that you can use on everything, and there are some things that are very specific to like 4th of July and watermelon slices and everything summer. Red, White, and Bloom is just one of my favorites. Because like I said, it also has wavy and plaid. And there's so much in that bundle. So next time they're doing a sale, get it. Here's the placement stitch for the... Oh, and you know what else? Let's look at it. Because this slice is green, right? So I don't know if we want to do it with this color. So if we look at it right here, it is this one. And I don't think I want to go red, even though that's what it shows in the instructions. And if you look at the picture here, yeah, it looks like they did white. Let's see if we can find a bigger picture of it. Because I don't know if I want to do white either, but I kind of think I want to do... I mean, they show it black there. I'm going to do green. I'm going to do, I think, clover. Because I think the red is just going to be a little too much contrast for me. Looks like they did white, but I'm going to go ahead and do this color right here, which is clover. And I think that's going to go best. So I'm going to lay down my fabric. Let's take out the red. You could do white or you could do linen. It looks like in the picture they did linen or white. But I'm going to stick with something that totally matches. I can still change my mind. This is just my tack down. Watermelon slice. I'm just looking at the picture one last time, because this is the color that's going to make the difference. Look, if you look at it, it really looks like they did linen, but I'm going to leave it just with this color, with clover. And let's go ahead and trim. I hate when they discontinue fabrics, right? Or get rid of designs. Because how many of you didn't even know anything about Kimberbell in 2017? And they did redo Jingle and Whisk, which was like the cutest line. And I wish they would bring that one back. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start. This is going to do the little splash of watermelon out here, and then it'll do the satin outline. can get a better angle for you. And we'll do that last watermelon slice. This is the one we're going to do next. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'll do taffy to go around that pink. So for this one, we'll do quilting in black. We'll do quilting in black, do the taffy, and then the black watermelons. But that's what I'm going to do for this one. Cute. Go ahead and take out that green. We're going to put in the black. And that is going to be for the, we're going to put the black in for the watermelon seeds. Adorable. Okay, let's do the next one. Where are we going? Two down. One to go. Yeah, I'm glad I switched the color. I don't think I would have liked red on there. Scoot this up. Make this top, clip these, and then on the side. All right, we're ready. Let's go ahead and put this one on the machine. Go ahead and slide that on. Fluff that fabric in the back. The last thing you want is for that embroidery to curl under, which it will, with my luck. And let's go ahead and we are going to load our design. Okay, which one is this? This one is, I was trying to like add to the spreadsheet too. So I'm going to go home to clear the screen. Or you know what you could do too is I could hit cancel. There's more than one way to do all of this stuff. So I could hit return to go to the previous screen. I already know I want the watermelon. And I could delete the background quilting. I'm going to go ahead and touch that and just hit trash can. And then we're going to add, and I don't know if this saves any time, but it just shows you a different way of doing it. And for the third watermelon slice, I'm doing loops from Clear Blue Tile. So let's see if I can find, I bet it's that one. That looks like loops to me. You're going to see he's not centered, but you know your watermelon slice is right where it needs to be. So I can go ahead and just go edit, move. That's the one with the arrows, and scoot this all the way up to the top. We are in our edit screen. So even with my hoop on, this will go outside of my embroidery field. And I'm just going to put it right to the top. That should be it. And then I'm going to go okay. And everything should be where it's supposed to be. So you could do it that way too, whichever works for you. We're going to go to this button where we can go and skip steps. So I'm going to touch that. And now we're set up where we can skip steps. I have my black in right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. And it's going to do that placement line for me. While it's doing the placement line, let's come on over here. Grab our fabric and our spray tin, and let's put our fabric in. Find the nubby side. Let's give that all a little shot of spray. Oh man, okay, look what happened. I wasn't paying attention and I didn't look. So I'm going to go back to my screen and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go to my previous screen. What happens is when you stitch, it stitches in the order in which you load your designs. So I threw away the quilting design, had the watermelon slice, and then I put the quilting design second. So it was stitching out the watermelon. That's easy to fix. If you are on an a Luminaire or a Solaris or an Avenir or a Radiance, because you have this great feature, and this is a wonderful teaching moment, isn't it? I'm going to go to edit, and do you see this where it's showing you the little blocks and that you have an arrow you can go back and forth? So I'm going to touch that, and do you see how it's showing the watermelon first? I can do that, and now it's doing the quilting first. So we just switch the order, and you can just, just hit whichever button, and whatever design it shows you first, that's what it's going to stitch. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. This was in my edit screen. I came out of my layout screen and came into my main edit screen. That's where you have that button. It's important to understand what features are in which screen, because you have your main edit screen. Once you touch embroidery, this is my layout screen. And if you go here, that option's not here. You're going to get confused. You're going to go, where did she do that? Remember, hitting return will take you to the previous screen, to your main edit screen. Edit, and there's that feature right there. Once you're done in your main edit screen, you touch embroidery, it takes you to your layout screen. Embroidery, layout screen. Okay? There it is. Fixed. So now I can go back here to where I can go forward and backward stitches. If I had looked, I would have seen that it showed a watermelon slice that it was stitching that out, but I didn't. And let's go back here. I'm just going to leave this. This is going to be underneath, so it doesn't make a difference. And now we're doing the placement stitch for the batting. That was a good moment though, right? Because now you know what to do. You might be like, why is it stitching the watermelon first? Because it stitches in the order in which you load the designs. But you can always switch it up if you want. Well, depending on your machine, you can switch it up. So I'm going to lay down my batting right inside of that square placement line. And then I'm going to take my background fabric and I'm going to lay that down on top of it. I'm going to feel around here. Make sure that I have about an inch, inch and a half all the way around. And now I want a color I can see. I have black in there. That's not a good color. Well, it's a great color, but it's not good to fussy cut to when you have black on black. So I'm going to put my taffy in here. And then I'll put my loops. Might not be the best pattern for this because there's lots of loops in there, but I'm just going to leave it. Oh. Did you see that? Why didn't it thread? Because it wasn't in the thread path. It was like all loose. You got to be in your thread path. Loops would look great, but maybe not on top of this loopy fabric. But I'm just going to leave it. It's just background quilting. I could tell I was making another mistake. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't fast forward. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my threads. Let's do the other one. This is going to be inside of the, here's another learning moment. Okay, let's go back to our screen. Do you see right here? The first turquoise is your placement for your batting. The second one is the tack down for the batting and the trim. We didn't want to do that. Make sure you cut your thread before we start moving around. We are going to go, this is the background. That's your placement stitch for your background fabric. We don't need that because we already laid it down. This is the tack down for the background, and we do need that. Once it started doing another row of stitching, I was like, that is wrong. Look how far out that is. So it's about 1/4 of an inch away from the batting, but I'm just going to be, whoops. Let me show it to you because you didn't see it. See how we're stitching about 1/4 of an inch outside of the batting? I'm going to have to take that stitch out. But I'll just do this one right now. This is going to be the tack down stitch. See how much further out it is? And that's why we always skip this one. But I'll go ahead and I'll pull that out later. Or actually, I'm going to have to pull it out now because the quilting stitch is probably going to go over that. So you don't have to sit here and watch this. This might take me a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let me see. I do have a little special way I like to remove my stitches. But I want to make sure I have the right seam ripper. Wow, we have lots of learning moments for all the mistakes that I'm making. Jeannie Mulligan, maker of mistakes. Okay, If you don't have this seam ripper, you should get it because it's awesome. And there's several things that I love about it. I'm going to go ahead and slide this whole thing off. And then let's see if we can, I'm going to come over here. And let's see if I can. Let's zoom us in. Okay. So anytime I love these because they're connected. So you have tweezers connected to your seam ripper, which is really, really nice. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out a stitch from the front and from the back. Well, that same stitch, front and back. When you do that, now you can go ahead and I can grab this stitch and pull on it, and then the white bobbin stitch shows, and you can just go ahead and cut that. So you can pull probably like 3 or 4 at a time, and then get the bobbin stitch. And I think that's way easier than picking out each individual stitch, don't you think? See how many I got then? So you're just pulling up on the top stitch, and the back stitch will release. Now this started to stitch over itself before I realized, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I might have to take some more time with that. The other thing you can do, which is kind of nice, is I have Kai seam rippers, which I'm actually waiting for, and you can kind of like just kind of gently pull back. Okay, this is where I'm going to get into my my doubled over stitching, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull these. So this is called Jeannie making mistakes. And of course I didn't realize it until it went all the way around twice. So maybe I could I got to get them both up at the same time. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, 2 more sides to go, but I'm hoping I can bring both of them up at the same time. There we go. Okay. Hopefully this will be quick and easy. You can just like sip on your coffee. My coffee's sitting right here next to me, waiting for some love. Oh my goodness, Poppy is killing me. She was up at like 5 this morning, and then Patrick let her out because he's wonderful like that, and he knows I struggle getting up. He's much better. And then she came back in and she just laid all over me. And we have dog law in the house, which I keep thinking we need to just throw her in her crate, but I just love the snuggles. Except at 5 in the morning, I don't love them. I would love it if she slept until just like 6:30. If I could just, 6:30 would just be awesome. I feel like I'm just bargaining. We're almost around. I'm just going to finish up with you guys just watching this because And then this is the other thing I love about these is sometimes it's hard to get out like this last little stitch. And so I love having tweezers. And then I can just kind of like grab at it and pick it and pull it. Because sometimes that's easier, you know? You got that sharp little, than just trying to get the tip of your tweezers and trying to get that like last stitch out. Or we can just deal with that later. Oh, see, I'm getting it. Okay, I'm going to slide this back on my machine. We did the outline stitch. We are onto the quilting. Pay attention, Jeannie. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'm going to attribute it to my lack of sleep, my exhaustion. And this morning I got up, I was like, I am going to immediately start stitching because yesterday I didn't get to stitch. Yesterday I went over, I have a good friend that I haven't seen. It's been a long time. And her daughter had a health, I'd call it a health crisis, and I haven't seen her either. So we went over there and took dinner, and it was just nice reconnecting with friends. And that was it. Okay, I'm looking at my screen. I am seeing the quilting stitch right here. I put in my black thread, so I'm ready to go. So go ahead, hit your start button, and it's going to do the loops, which you're really not even going to see. Loops on top of loops. But it's okay, you're just sewing together the back fabric with the batting with the front fabric. And then after it does this, we're going to put in our taffy. We're going to do the applique for that watermelon slice. And then maybe I'll go and drink some coffee and have some breakfast. Here's the applique fabric I'm going to be laying down. Was that one that fast? Okay. Maybe I'll go ahead and... Do you want to see more? Here we go. Now you can see the whole thing. All right, let me put in my taffy. I was zooming in for you, but maybe seeing the whole thing's better. It's probably better when we're like sewing. But when we're doing embroidery, you probably want to see the whole thing, right? Okay, I just put in my taffy. I'm looking at my screen. It's the applique. I'm finally putting some mileage on my Avenir. I've been using her like crazy, my little Evie. I've never named my machines. Michelle always has a name for her machines. Lots of people name their machines. This is the first machine I've named. I actually called the other one Lumi, but like that's not really a name, right? Okay. We're going to go ahead and trim. I find you can get nice and close when you hold your fabric up at like a 90-degree angle. Let me slide this back the tiniest bit so I can get in here. And snips. Snips just let you get really close, but snips don't work great when it's really thick. This is not thick, so they're the perfect cutting apparatus. Go ahead and slide that on. I'm going to do my little splash of watermelon juice, and then it will stitch, do the satin stitch. now it's going to continue on and do the satin stitch outline of this slice. Let me see if I can add some colors into my supply list. Let's go ahead and put the black in, and that is going to be for the pumpkin seeds. Did I just say pumpkin seeds? I guess I'm thinking fall. Okay, that is going to be for the watermelon seeds. What did I use? Tide water. And we are done with the watermelon slices. Next thing we'll do is we will do the mason jars.